On a cold, finally, going to be the last cold morning. It's got to be the last cold morning. It is sunny, and we are in Northeast Ohio. I'm Adam the Bull. He's Dustin Fox. It's Bull and Fox in the Bullpen, brought to you by Bet Rivers. Dustin, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. I actually slept phenomenally last night. And honestly, dude, if I look like I just woke up, it's because I did.
Look at you. I don't know. You never sleep
this morning. Yeah, I did. I got up at 8 o'clock. I don't know. I'm typically up at 5 a.m. But you know what? My body said to me, hey, listen, take a day off.
Yeah.
I'm going 30 days straight. So anyway, I feel refreshed, well rested. I went to the Cavaliers game last night, 2-0, baby.
Yeah.
As they look to they put a stranglehold on this series, I think. And,
they did. And the question is, can Toronto turn the tide in Toronto? We'll get to that in a second. Obviously, the draft and did that big trade between the Giants and Bengals affect the Browns at all? We'll get into that in just a little bit. Want to let you know that, of course, as you know, playoff basketball underway, and Bet Rivers is helping you take your shot with a first-round bonus bet. Bettors in Ohio can get a $10 bonus bet to use on basketball when they enter the code ATB413. You see it right under me there right now, the bonus code ATB413. If you're not using the Bet Rivers app, make sure you do. If you haven't downloaded it, make sure you do. If you have it, if you downloaded it, if you're using it, use this code and save some cash. Bettors in Ohio get a $10 bonus bet on basketball if you use the code ATB413 in your Bet Rivers app. That code again, ATB413. Offer ends the 26th of April, this Sunday. Must be 21 and in Ohio. Eligible players only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. No problem for the Cavs last night. They were sloppy at times, Dustin, no doubt in the first half. The Raptors dominated the boards, and there was definitely that stretch late third quarter, early fourth quarter where the Cavs couldn't get a bucket at all. But Donovan Mitchell did what Donovan Mitchell does, takes over when it matters. When the game was in, I guess, a little bit of danger midway through the fourth quarter, they cut it to 8. Donovan took over down the stretch. Scores 30 in the game with 7 boards, 5 assists, and the Cavs win by 10, cover the spread. 115-105 the final. Your thoughts on the victory?
My thoughts are the Raptors are the Cavs are a bad matchup for the Raptors, number one. I never felt, and I was there with my family last night and a buddy, and I said to them during the game, I'm like, even though they keep getting close, I never once felt threatened like they're going to lose this game. I just didn't feel like the Raptors ever had enough firepower. Like they just did enough to try to kind of keep the game sort of within that 6-8 point range at times. But I am a little concerned because I don't think the Cavs are going to lose this series. I think the Cavs are going to win this series most likely in 4 or 5 games. Obviously, a lot depends on what happens here in Game 3. But I am concerned a little bit going forward because, Adam, where are the points going to come from if Donovan or James Harden has an off night? You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking around at guys like Sam Merrill doing nothing. Dean Wade's scared to touch the basketball.
Yeah.
Listen,
and he's the tricky guy because he does play in this series. Like, he's done a great job defensively on Ingram.
Yeah.
But he's played like 45 minutes and has 5 points or something. There was a play like in the fourth quarter. The game was kind of in hand, and he's just like dribbling around the court, and he's not even looking for a shot at all.
It's very frustrating because you're right. He's a really good defender, and in the series, he's going to play a ton of minutes. But he honestly looks like he's scared to have the basketball in his hands. And if I'm the Raptors or whoever, I'm defending this guy, I wouldn't defend him at all. I wouldn't even put a body on the guy. To be honest with you, I will say this: Evan Mobley was really good last night.
He's been great in this series so far.
He has,
and that's good to see. And yes, I have the same concerns you do. Is where is that extra scoring coming from? But I will say that if Evan, and it's easy to say it now because it's the first round, But Toronto's not. Listen, Toronto. You're right. The Cavs are a bad matchup for Toronto. But Toronto's a pretty good team. It's not like the
Scotty
Heat
Barnes
from last
is a baller,
year.
dude. Scotty Barnes is absolutely
so is
baller.
R.J. Barrett. Everybody
Barrett's
talks
good.
about him like he's not very good, but and Brandon Ingram's a great offensive player. He just didn't. He just got shut down.
He hit the broadside of a barn last night.
No, and so the difference from past years is obviously they got a second superstar in James Harden. I mean, how about that play where was it Barnes that had his arm on his shoulder and he just takes that three from almost half court? I think it was Barnes. Remember that play? And he draws the foul.
Yeah, it was.
And it's just a smart basketball play that a lot of guys wouldn't do. The second Barnes put his arm on Harden's shoulder, he took the shot because he knew he was going to get fouled, even though he had no chance of making the shot. And it's just a smart basketball play. And if Evan Mobley plays like this, I mean, the three of them scored over 80 points. They're doing almost all of the scoring in this series. But yes, there will be a game, Dustin, I agree, where you're going to need Max Strus to have a game or Sam Merrill to have a game. And right now, I think Strus plays with confidence. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
But some of these other guys like Jalen Tyson and
couldn't
Merrill,
hit the barn. He looked uncomfortable.
A lot of these guys don't look comfortable. Now, Merrill did hit that big three when the Raptors were making a big run early in the fourth quarter. Merrill's three was a big shot because it kind of it felt like that kind of ended their momentum. But I do agree with you that the Raptors, I don't think they got it closer than 8, maybe 7. I never thought the Cavs were going to lose the game. It just felt like the Raptors had to play so hard just to make it close.
I was just hoping that the Raptors kept it within 10 points so that I could, have the Cavs guys that I needed for prop bets to stay in the game. That's what I was thinking. That's what this series has become all about. Is I need my guys to be able to play the full game so we can get our prop bets. That's where we're at.
I hear you.
I do not. I'm not worried about this series whatsoever. And again, they've got some talented players. They don't have what we have, and this is what gets me so excited, Adam, is because James Harden and Donovan Mitchell most nights are going to be the best two players on the court for the respective team, right? I mean, until we get to Boston, when they got Tatum and Brown. But I feel like, and by the way, how about that Hawks game last night? Did you see that comeback? CJ McCollum, Canton's finest.
I did not watch it. I read about it this morning. I saw the score and I was like, the Knicks are going to win.
I listened to the whole thing on Sirius on the way home. It was the Knicks broadcast. Really? It was very funny because I took my son home back to Canton last night, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. So I'm listening to the game, and it's very funny to listen to the home broadcast when they were up. I think they were up like 14 at one point, maybe 17.
Yeah,
the Knicks and the Hawks come all the way back to win the game.
Yeah,
it was just hilarious to hear the home broadcast. Like they were just like, and now the lead is down to 2, and now the Hawks have the lead.
And then, of course, Orlando won the first game against Detroit, which was a shocker. I think they play game 2 tonight.
Yep.
What is let's see what our spread here is. We've no, they don't play tonight. That series is tomorrow, game 2. The Pistons are a 9.5-point favorite. Knicks only a 1-point favorite Thursday in Atlanta. Cavs, you want to guess the Cavs spread in Toronto here at Bet Rivers? Game 3?
I would say 6.5.
No, not quite that high. 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, Toronto, we forget sometimes how their fans and their home court can be an absolute big-time advantage for them and has been in the past, and it will be, obviously, they play Thursday night.
Thursday,
right? Yeah. So Thursday night, I mean, if the Raptors have any life or want to show any sort of life in the series, they have to win this game.
Yeah.
And their fans will have to be in it. And it's the Cavs' responsibility to take the crowd out of it early in that game on Thursday night.
And the Cavs have won 12 straight playoff games against the Raptors, going obviously back to the LeBron years. So we'll see if they can keep that going. But this is the third time in a month that the Cavs and the Guardians will be in the same city for a couple of days at the same time, because the Guardians are going to Toronto this weekend also. Will they party together or no partying because it's serious business right now?
Probably serious business. I don't get the sense that baseball players and basketball players have quite as much in common.
You never know. Might surprise you.
Okay.
Might surprise you. But, yeah, I don't know. Saying baseball players don't go to strip clubs as much? Is that
I'm just saying there's different cultures in the sport.
Yeah, I guess so. That's probably true just on some level. But anyway, we'll see if the Cavs can if they do win Game 3, you would assume they sweep. I mean, you never know, but Cavs are now plus 150 to sweep the series.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So it's still more likely, according to our odds makers, that they will win in 5 than sweep. Because you always expect the home team to salvage one game, at least, in most series.
Yeah, but if they don't get Game 3, what are the odds they're going to get Game 4? What are the odds that they're going to want to get on a plane and go back to the States, for to get their ass beat?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, going into the series, I picked Cavs in 6, but it very much looks like a sweep. However, we've seen this time and time again in a lot of NBA series. It looks different when you go on the road. We'll see if that is not the case in this situation, but we'll see. The other game yesterday, you mentioned the Hawks beat the Knicks. The T-Wolves.
I watched that whole game when I got home last night.
Damn, you stay up till
that's probably why I
slept so late.
Yeah, I was up. Dude, the Nuggets were up like 20 or something in the first quarter.
Yeah,
and then somehow it ends up being tied at halftime, 64 apiece, and then the T-Wolves played great in the second half.
Yeah. The Nuggets out. It was the Nuggets outscored the T-Wolves 39-25 in the first quarter, and then the T-Wolves outscored the Nuggets 39-25 in the second quarter.
It was funny. It was exact same score, opposite ways. Yep.
Tonight you've got Sixers Celtics. That game is on Peacock at 7:00. Celtics up 1-0 in that series, and they are a 14.5-point favorite tonight at Bet Rivers. Is that a stay away? If you have to pick it, will you lay in the 14.5? What are you doing if you had to
tonight? Man, gun to my head. What am I doing tonight? Probably staying away.
Yeah.
Excuse me if I staying away. Probably staying away from that one.
All right, 8 p.m. also on Peacock is the Blazers and the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama.
These games are also on NBC, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Because like last night, I thought that because we keep saying Peacock, and I'm like, oh, so it's only streaming? No, it was on Channel 3 as well.
Yeah. I think it's whichever. They're both on Peacock and NBC. So in this case, probably one of these will be on NBC and one on Peacock. I assume here the Sixers Celtics will be on NBC, and Blazers Spurs will be on Peacock. The Spurs an 11.5-point favorite against Portland, and finally. At 10:30 tonight, the Lakers try to go up 2-0 on the Rockets. Lakers are that also on NBC and Peacock. Lakers are a 5-point favorite there. What do you think? Spurs 11.5, Lakers 5. Any play on those?
Well, Durant's supposed to play
Yeah.
in the Houston game, and Doncic's still out. Austin Reeves has been banged up. He's out too.
Yeah.
I think that the Rockets are going to win this game.
I'm with you there. The Spurs and Celtics will both win by blowouts. That you either pick the favorite. And once the spread's double digits, it's hard. You get nervous about betting the double digits. Although in the playoffs, you're more likely to keep guys in longer to seal the deal. But we'll see.
It's tough though. I mean, those double digit games. I mean, if you are going to cover an 11.5-point spread, you got to be up like 20 at some point during the game. You know what I mean? Because you're not fouling to get the cover late. If it's it's like 8 or 9 points.
Guardians lose an ugly game last night, 9-2. Slade Ciccone was terrible. He's by far been the worst.
The Astros stink.
Yeah, they've been terrible, but they weren't terrible yesterday. And Slade Ciccone's the one starter not pitching well for the Guardians. ERA up to 6.20. Gave up 7 runs, 6 earned, and 12 base runners in 5 innings. Here's a rule that you could follow. If you give up as many home runs as you have strikeouts, it's not going to be a good day for you. And that's what happened with Slade Ciccone. So we'll move on from that. Just real quick to give you the rest of the series, the pitching matchups, Guardians, Astros. They will play tonight at 6:10. Parker Messick almost pitched a no-hitter last time out against Ryan Weiss of the Astros. I do like the Guardians tonight. I like Messick over 4.5 strikeouts. He's been over 4.5 Ks in each of his starts. And then tomorrow, to wrap up the series, 110 start Tanner Bybee, who bounced back nicely against Peter Lambert. Big pitching advantage for the Guardians in the next 2 games, so I like him here. And then they go, as I mentioned, after a day off Thursday to Toronto before coming back home on Monday. Let's get to the NFL draft. First of all, I haven't spoken to you since the stunning trade.
Yeah.
Where the Bengals trade the 10th pick in the draft to the Giants for sexy Dexter Lawrence. You know, it's the first time ever that the Bengals will not have a first-round pick. Like, they don't trade first-round picks.
It's out of character for them, for sure.
I was stunned when this happened.
Why do you think they made the move, number one? I mean, let me interview you.
Yeah.
Because you're the Bengals fan. Why did they make the move, and are you happy about the move?
I love the move because Dexter Lawrence, to me, is way better than anybody you get in this draft. Now, I understand he's more expensive and he's older, but the Bengals need to win now. And there's pressure on some level from Joe Burrow because if they don't make the playoffs again, he may be like, I'm getting the hell out of here. You know, and he may try to force his way out. Now, to me, Joe's got to put up this year because as great as he is when he's healthy, he's hurt too much. And he's got to stay healthy because this is probably the best team he's had in 3-4 years. This guy is a game changer. Excuse me. Like, this guy is one of the top 2 or 3 defensive tackles, nose tackles in the game. I've been hearing like a lot of offensive linemen. I've been listening to everything I can find. Former offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and they just go on and on about this guy. I know you love, what's his name? I just forgot his name. The analytics guy with the mustache.
Sharp.
Warren Sharp. He went bananas about this. He put up the stats career-wise and last year of the Giants' defense with Lawrence on the field and when he's not on the field. And it's when he's on the field, they're like the 8th best defense in the league. When he's not, they're 32nd or 31st. That's how big a difference it is. I think the Bengals' D-line will be much better this year. I think their secondary solid. Their linebackers still suck. But, they don't need to be great on defense to be a Super Bowl contender. They need to be average on defense. I think they can be with this trade and the moves they made in free agency. So I love it. Obviously, 10th pick is for the Giants. It's big. You get 2 young players to start with. But the Bengals are in winning
Giants
mode
have number 5 and number 10 now.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I brought this up is because I wonder how this affects what they might do at 5. I wonder if the Giants were thinking initially we'll take a defensive player at 5, but now that they have 5 and 10 and the defense is a little deeper at the beginning of this draft, you wonder, are they now more likely to take an offensive player at 5 right ahead of the Browns who are picking 6 and are more likely to take an offensive player? I would guess we won't know obviously we won't know until the draft. But do you think because they have the 10th pick now, they're more likely to go offense at 5 and save a defensive player for 10?
Boy, I have no idea.
Right.
I really don't. But, I mean, it certainly could create some chaos there in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because now, their teams maybe the Giants want to trade out of 5. Maybe somebody wants to come up to number 5 because they've got the 10th pick now that they feel like they can get some more picks in the draft.
Right.
It could be good or bad for the Browns.
Yeah.
Because chaos could certainly allow somebody to drop to the Browns. That means, maybe somebody that they weren't even thinking would be there at 6 is all of a sudden there. It also means that, their guy could get taken because somebody could come up and swoop ahead of them potentially. So it's going to be fascinating for sure. I mean, listen, if I'm Andy Roth and I'm a Giants fan, I'm pretty pumped. We haven't talked to Andy Roth in a while, but just, every time I think of the Giants, I think of him because he's a big fan.
McNuggets too.
McNuggets as well. Yeah. So
I think it's a great trade for both teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Dude. And you know how much I love John Harbaugh and think of the world of him as a coach because I played for him. I think that the Giants are going to be, assuming Jackson Dart can stay healthy, that team's going to be on the rise for sure.
Yeah. But they obviously they're not going to find a replacement for Dexter Lawrence in this draft.
No, but listen, if they feel like they've got their franchise quarterback, they got to continue to go out and get weapons.
That's right.
For him and protect him and do all the things you have to do necessary to allow that quarterback to feel comfortable in his second year.
Yeah,
and so that he can take the next step in his development with a new head coach, new coordinator, and all those good things that go along with that.
Hey, if I'm the Giants at 5, I'm taking if Jeremiah Love is there, even though I like Cam Scatterbo,
He's
taking Jeremiah.
Coming off a tough injury, dude.
Yeah,
and he's literally every time he touches the ball or it touches the field, he could be done for the year.
Can you
imagine
that
type of player?
Can you imagine you're a young quarterback there and you've got Jeremiah Love and Malik Neighbors? And Neighbors is coming off an injury too, but he should be good to go at the start of the season. If you have, like, Malik Neighbors is a top 10 wide receiver, and then you're going to have this guy who we all think is going to be certainly top 10, maybe even top 5 running back, that'd be a pretty sweet combo if you're the Giants. If Jeremiah Love is gone, I take Carnell Tate if I'm them, and then you have a great 1-2 punch of, Neighbors and Tate. You have 2 good receivers. You wonder if they even they'll probably take a defensive player, one of those picks. But if I'm them, I'm now taking Love or Tate at 5, and if they take Tate, that could be obviously we've been speculating that the Browns would take Tate at 6, and maybe this makes it more likely that the Giants take Carnell Tate at 5. Time will tell. We're 2 days and 12 hours away, so about 60 hours. Or
I mean, Carnell Tate would make a ton of sense for the Giants.
He would. Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, they already have a good player.
Right. You already have a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in there and there's less pressure on him.
Yeah.
In terms, like, the Browns may be like, okay, if we're going to take a receiver at 6, like, we need somebody who's going to be, like, elite in terms of, like, ceiling. And I think you already kind of know the ceiling on Carnell Tate, which is really, really high, by the way. And I think the guy's going to be a hell of a player. But, man, you put it's Neighbors, right, with the Giants.
Yeah.
So Neighbors and Tate, I mean, you put those 2 together all of a sudden with Dart. I mean, that could be something.
I mean, if I'm Tate, you want to be with Dart as a quarterback and Malik Neighbors as your other top receiver, or do you want to be with Jerry Jeudy and whoever ends up playing quarterback for the Browns? I'm sure he'll be happy to be here and he'll be whatever. But I think for Carnell Tate, I'd rather be on the Giants, even though neither team was good last year. But
and Harbaugh is going to be there for a little while too. I mean, there's going to be some stability with that franchise. There pretty much has been.
Yeah.
And with the Browns, like you said it, Bull, you don't know who your quarterback's going to be. And if you're drafted to the Browns, there's a good chance that you're probably going to play with like a half dozen quarterbacks throughout the first couple of years of your career. That's how it's going to go, because they don't have the answer right now, at least.
Right.
We don't think. They might. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But that there's still going to be multiple dudes taking snaps at quarterback this year.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us today. I want to let you know that we will have you covered. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a podcast with Sean King. We'll have that for you tomorrow afternoon. But here's the lineup for Thursday, the big draft day lineup. Dustin and I will be live 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning. The final preview. We'll make our predictions for the draft. Then, you're not on UCSS Thursday, right? You're on the next 2 today and tomorrow.
Oddly enough.
Oh, no, you are on
double
Thursday.
Dipping this week.
That's right.
Wednesday and Thursday, I'm with you on UCSS.
Okay.
And then Thursday, you and I. You go.
Yeah. So, no. I wanted to. Okay. So, tomorrow, I'm doing a podcast. We'll do the podcast. We'll have Sean King make his prediction. Then Dustin and I will be both on UCSS tomorrow from 10 to noon. And then Thursday, live bullpen with the 2 of us. We make our final predictions for the draft at 8:30 live. We will both then be on UCSS Thursday from 10 to noon. I will be on the UCSS live draft show from 8 to 11 p.m. Thursday. And then Dustin and I will be back live probably around midnight Thursday to recap Game 3 Cavs-Raptors and Round 1 of the NFL Draft. We'll have more draft coverage in the bullpen with the 2 of us also, which we'll tell you about after Thursday. So the next few days are going to be a lot of fun with basketball and the NFL Draft. Exciting time of the year with everything getting going. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks to Drew and thanks to Alex for producing today. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the bullpen with Bull and Fox, brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.